Yes, Prabhu, over to you. Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण मम ज्ञानतिमिरस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामी नमस्ते सरस्वते गौरवाणि चारणि निर्विशेषशून्यानि पाश्चात्यदेहताः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासुदेव भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण. So, Muslim Chaturdashi will try to offer prayers to Narsingadev. So these are Prahlad prayers. We'll start. It's a very auspicious day. We'll try to recite as many as possible. We'll try to complete all. We'll just try to understand the meaning also. Prahlad is offering prayers to Lord Narsingadev. Sri Prahlad Uvacha Brahmadayas Suragana Munayota Siddha Satvaikatanagatyo Vachasam Pravahai Naraditum Purugane Adunat Pipipru Kim Toshmarhasame Harirudrajate. So here Prahlad is telling that I am in mode of ignorance, whereas such great personalities, Brahma, Suragana, Mayota, Siddhas, they are all Sattuguna. And Vachasam Pravahi, they are able to offer such wonderful prayers. And Vachasam is they describe Pravahi, they are flowing streams of prayers. That Naraditum, Na Araditum, to, but you are not satisfied, although fully qualified they are. And how Kim Toshnu Arahasari Same Harirugrajati, how I will be able to offer prayers. I am born in such low born family, that is Asuri family. So basically, he's telling that different modes are there and which inspire people to perform different activities. And here he's telling, I am affected by these modes. So most of the things that happen in the world are because of different modes. So he's telling, how is it possible for me, who have been born in a family of asuras, to offer suitable prayers to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Even until now, all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma and all the saintly persons could not satisfy the Lord by streams of excellent words. Although such persons are very qualified being in mode of goodness, then what is to be said of me? I am not at all qualified. So he says how he is not qualified. Then he gives reason. He says, but according to me, because such great persons are offering prayers, you are not satisfied. But according to me, manye, my understanding is manye dana vijana rupa tapassa tojas teja prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yoga नाराधनाय भवन्ति परस्य पुंसो भक्त्या तुतोषु भगवान् गजयूतपाय. So here, first, when he was told to offer prayers, he was telling how he is not qualified. Now later on, he says that what is my opinion. Now before offering prayers, he is exhibiting his humility. Different modes are basically what makes a person act in this world. So our actions are proportionate to our moods. We are affected always by the moods. Now, as soon as the day starts, in the early morning we are in Sattva. Now, slowly, Rajoguna is going to come, and then Tamoguna. It's like that. So, and basically, this means our taste also. Now, if you are in Tamoguna, we don't like things in Sattva. So, gunas basically implies taste also. Like morning time, people they are in Sattva, so they won't like to. They like to do some sattvic activities. Say like they want to go to temple or hear some spiritual music, spiritual discourses. So such type of qualities will be there. Basically, modes mean the taste. Now he says, I am in lower taste, so how will I able to offer something higher? But later on he says, but there is some other important consideration when, especially when it comes to bhakti. He says, Mannedana Bijana Rupa Tapassu Tojas. So he's telling, according to my opinion, Dhana means riches, Abhijana means aristocratic family, Rupa means personal beauty, Tapa austerities, Shruta knowledge, Ojaha means sensory power, Tejaha means bodily effulgence, Prabhava means influence, Bala strength, Paurusha diligence, Buddhi intelligence, Yoga mystic power, Na Aradhanaya, so for satisfying. So all these things which are mentioned are actually not going to satisfy you. What is important is bhaktya tutoshu Bhagavan. You are satisfied only with bhakti. And what is the example? Gajayutapaya. Gajendra is the example. He says, one may possess wealth, aristocratic family, beauty, austerity, education, sensory expertise, luster, influence, physical strength, diligence, intelligence, and mystic power. But I think that even by all these qualifications, one cannot satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, one can satisfy the Lord simply by devotional service. Gajendra did this, and thus the Lord was satisfied with him. So, now he says that this is one may possess all these things, but the most important thing is one can satisfy the Lord only with devotion. So there is another criteria for pleasing the Lord. So all these things which are mentioned here, people so much count on them, but Lord does not count any of these things. Why these things are not counted? Such wealth, beauty, family, austerity, education, sensory power. Why? Because these are within three modes only. And bhakti, which Lord is satisfied, is beyond three modes. So Gajendra in mode of ignorance, so he cannot do much prayers. But Lord is satisfied because he has bhakti. That is important. Vipra Vishatgunayuta Ravindhanabha Pada Ravinda Vimuka Swapacham Varishtam Manye Tadarpita Mano Vachane Hitartha Pranam Punati Sakulam Natu Purimanah. Then he says, this is very important. He says, Vipra Vishat Gunayuta. Vishat Gunayuta means they are qualified with 12 Brahmanical qualities. All these Brahmanas, Vipra. Aravindanab. But if they are Padara Vinda Vimukha, but if they are again, if they are not Vimukha, they are not very favorable to the lotus feet of the Lord. Padara Vindam. Swapacham Varishtam. Then it is better. Swapacham means a dog eater who is born in a family of a dog eater, not a dog. Yeah, Swapacham, one who is born in a low family or a dog eater. He is Varishta means he's better than a Brahmana who is having all the good qualities, but he is Vimukha. He is against the Lord. Better is to be born even because Manye Tadarpita Mano Vachane Hitartam Pranam Punati Sakulam Natupurimana. He says that this Prahlad is not offering prayers. He is telling now when Brahma told Prahlad that you offer prayers, and Prahlad first of all he says, actually I am not. He is giving his qualification for offering prayers. First he said I am not qualified. Then he says, yeah, I am not qualified, but still there is one more consideration. What is that? That the consideration is because Lord is with interested in devotion, so maybe it will qualify me to offer some prayers. That's what he infers here. He says maybe I will try. He says, oh, Brahma and all these great personalities they offered, but it didn't work. You're not satisfied. Then according to me all these aristocracies and all this wealth and beauty and strength, oja, bala, teja, power. All these things won't satisfy. You need only bhakti. And even if somebody is Brahmana with all these 12 qualities, and but he is again is Vimukha, is not favorable to you, then the dog eater person who's born in a dog eater family is much better because he can deliver himself. But whereas a Brahmana, he cannot deliver himself. Not if this person deliver himself and his family also. This is that if a Brahmana has 12, all 12 of the Brahmanical qualifications as they are stated in the book Sanak Sujata, but is not a devotee and averse to the lotus feet of Lord, he is certainly lower than a devotee who is a dog eater, but who is dedicated everything, mind, words, activities, wealth, and life to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee is better than such a Brahmana because devotee can purify his whole family, whereas so-called Brahmana in a position of false prestige cannot purify himself also. And he says, Naivatmanah Prabhurayam Nijalabha Purno Manam Janada Vidusham Karuno Vrinite Yadyajjano Bhagavate Vidadita Manam Tachatmane Pratimukasya Yata Mukasri. Now he says, okay, I am telling Brahma they are in goodness, they are not able to do what I will offer. Then according to my opinion, a devotee, you are like devotion, not all these extra things. Okay. Then even if somebody is a lower family, low born also, but he is favorable to you, he is much better. Now, why am I doing? What is my qualification? What I will get? Then he says, Naivatmanah Prabhurayam Nijalabha Purna. It is for my personal benefit. Nijalabha Purna. I will, if I glorify the Lord, who is going to get benefit? I am going to get. Manam Janada Vindasham Karuno Vrinite. It says, like if we uh, it says tachatmane pratimukasya yatha mukasri. So if you nicely decorate and stand in front of mirror, in the mirror you look very beautiful. So similarly, by glorifying the Lord, we feel satisfied. So mirror, the image in the mirror, you want to make the image in the mirror beautiful. What we do, decorate yourself, then the image in the mirror is beautiful. Similarly, Prahlad is telling, I want to be satisfied. So, ways glorify the Lord. He says, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of God, it is always fully satisfied in Himself. So, for Himself, it not. Therefore, when something is offered to Him, the offering by the Lord's mercy is the for benefit of devotee only. We will get benefit. For Lord does not need service from anyone. To give an example, one's face is decorated, the reflection of one's face in mirror also seen to be decorated. So this is the example in this. Tasmadaham vikata viklava ishwarasya. So now till now he made the basis. On what basis he is offering prayers? How is he qualified to offer prayers? This is, so these are the four shlokas where he is mentioning what is his qualification. And in the fourth sloka, he says, I am doing it for my benefit. For Lord, he is already satisfied. Now he's starting his prayers. He says, Tasmadaham vigata viklava ishwarasya sarvatmana mahigranam yata manisham nicho jayaya guna visargamanu pravishta uyeta yena hipumananu. Therefore, although I was born in a demonic family, I may without a doubt offer prayers to the Lord with full endeavor as far as my intelligence allows. Anyone who has been forced by ignorance to enter the material world may be purified of material life if he offers prayers to the Lord and hears the Lord's glories. So, anyone who has been forced by ignorance enter into material world, he will purify it. If he offers prayers to the Lord and heart's glory. Now he is telling, I will try with my level best to offer prayers. Now he starts his सर्वे हि अयं विधिकरस्य सत्पथाम्नो ब्रह्मादयो वयमिवेशन चोद्विजन्त क्षेमाय भूतायुतात्मसुखाय चास्यन् विक्रीडितं भगवतो रुचिरावतारै. He says, O my Lord, all the demigods, all headed by Lord Brahma, are sincere servant of your lordships, who are situated in a transcendental position. Therefore, They are not like us. Prahlad is father, the demon. Your appearance in this fierce form is your past, for your own pleasure. Such an incarnation is always meant for the protection and improvement of the universe. So this is the first reason he says. Why did Lord appear? He says, oh, you appear? It's your own pleasure. This is Lord's Leela. See, for killing Hiranyakashipu, Lord need not come. He can just send some virus, coronavirus. Big demons are killed. And big demons in times, they're easily killed by Lord's external energy. You don't need to come. But such an incarnation is always meant for it is his pastime. He just comes. Why? In different forms, like Varahadev, we are discussing on in the previous session. Varahadev comes, it's pastime. He just likes he want to come, his own style. And now he's choosing to come as half lion, half man. And so such beautiful things Lord comes, Lord arranges, and he performs. It's everything happens according to his will. Is There is no reason for Lord. It's play. Pastime means play, like children. If you observe children who are 3 4 years old, they actually they if they are playing something here there, and sometimes suddenly they will play with mud, sometimes they play with some other game, and after 1 hour they change and they say no, we'll do some other thing. There is no logic. If you observe the play the children doing, no logic, completely illogic. So that is why it is pastime, it's a play. So when Lord comes, there is no logic. This comes, it's his will. So you cannot anything logically say, oh, he should come like this, he should come like this because of this reason. No reason, that's why it's past. If reason is there, then it is action. And like say I am giving class. So it's an action because there is a reason. But for Lord, it's past time, no reason. Like you ask children, hey, you said you will play some cricket and then suddenly you change it into football, then you change it into some other thing. So why are you changing? Then they say, no, there is no reason, that's all. So So that's past. So Lord comes, he likes it. Such an incarnation is always, even if he comes as a pastime, his own play, but still it is beneficial, meant for the protection and improvement of the universe. Tadyasya manno tadyas man masurascha hatastvayadya modeta sadurapi vishika sarpahatya लोकाश्च निपतित्या पतियन्ति सर्वे रूपं नृसिंहविभया जना स्मरन्ति. This is my Lord Narsingadev. Please therefore cease your anger now that my father, the great demon Hiranyakashipu, has been killed. Since even saintly persons takes pleasure in killing of a scorpion or a snake, all the birds have achieved great satisfaction because of the death of this demon. Now they are confident of their happiness, and they will always remember your auspicious incarnation of Narsingadev in order to be free from fear. We will get distracted so fast in this world. Like I was, and I'm giving in laptop. So problem in laptop giving classes is we have WhatsApp also. So many messages come in WhatsApp, and I don't know how to mute. Messages means they pop up, so it so much distracts. Anyway, I have to focus on the prayers of Prahlad. He's telling, therefore cease your anger now that my father, the great demon Hiranyakashipu, has been killed. Now he's telling, my dear Lord, because what happened is so many great personalities, they try to pacify the Lord. Lord could not be pacified. Even Lakshmi also could not dare. Then Prahlad says, my dear Lord, now it's done. Now you be please pacified. And then he gives this, even saintly persons take pleasure in killing of a scorpion or a snake. So all the worlds are now happy because of the death of this demon, and they are confident of their happiness. So you be pacified. Because Lord was so upset because Prahlad was so much tortured by his father. That's the reason he wanted. It's like, say, one level of torture is you scold a person. Second law of torture is you beat a person, and highest degree of torture is you try to kill a person. And Hiranyakashipu tried the highest thing, and not one time, two times, multiple times he tried to kill himself. So that's like you are trying to, give the greatest offense to a person, try to kill him. That's what Hiranyakashipu tried to do for Prahlad. Of course, he did other things also. He chastised him, he tried to beat him, and then he tried to kill him in many ways. So he was like torturing so much, and that made Lord very upset. He said, "How can you do so much to my devotee?" Lord appeared and is so angry. And after killing also, he was angry because he's angry. He said that because the demigods did not come to protect Prahlad, so he was very upset. So Prahlad said, "No, my daughter, I'm happy now. I'm confident of my happiness. So you be best." So this is the reason you have come. It is accomplished now. You can be peaceful. नाहं बिभेति अजितेति भयानकस्य जिह्वाग्रनेत्रपुकुटीरवसाग्रदंष्ट्र अन्तःस्रजः क्षतजकेशरशङ्कुकर्ण निर्हादिभीतिदिग्बाधरिभिन्नकाग्रे. This is Naham Bhiveti. I am not afraid of your form. Ajiteti Bhayanakasya. Your form is really very ferocious. Jihvagra Nekta Bukuti. Jihvagra is tongue. Araka Netra, the eyes shining. Brukuti, your flowing brows. Rabhasa, the strong. Uttardamshtra, ferocious teeth. Antasrajaha, garland of intestines. Shataja, bloody. She, Keshara, menace, the hair like that. And Shankukarna. Shankukarna means wedge like ear. So Nirhadi means he's roaring sound. Hita is frightened. Digipat means from which even the great elephants, there are four Diggajas and four sides of the Bhumandala who are holding it, balancing it. So even they were actually running it. So Nakha Agra. So then there is piercing the enemy, the tip, so that his nails are actually filled with that blood. So here explains, my dear Lord, who are never conquered by anyone, I am certainly not afraid of your fierce mouth and tongue, your eyes bright like sun, or your flowing eyebrows. I do not fear your sharp, piercing teeth, your garland of intestines, your mane soaked with blood, or your high wedge like ears. Nor do I fear your tumultuous roaring, which makes the elephants flee to distant places. They are called Diggajas, four elephants. They are also afraid, which are meant to kill your enemies. Your nails, which are no Prahlad, like a lion's cub is not afraid of lion. So Prahlad is not afraid of Narsingadev. Rishtos, Maham. So he is mentioning, my dear form, my dear Lord, your form. So this is a beautiful form of Narsingadev. You can meditate on this form. this, you can chant prayers of this form of Narsingadev. नाहं बिभेति अजितेति भयानकस्य जिह्वाग्रनेत्रपुकुटीरवसाग्रदंष्ट्र अन्तःसृजः क्षतजकेशरशङ्कुकर्ण निर्हादिभीतिदिग्भा अरिभिन्नकाग्रे. तिष्ठोऽस्म्यहं कृपणवत्सलदुःसहोग्र संसारचक्रकदनाङ्कशतां प्रणीत बद्धस्वकर्मभिरुषितां तेऽङ्घ्रिमूलम् प्रीतोपवर्गशयनम् ऐसे कदा. This is so most powerful, insurmountable Lord, who are kind to the fallen souls. I have been put into the association of demons as a result of my activities, and therefore I am very much afraid of my condition of life within this material world. When will the moment come when you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the ultimate goal for liberation from conditioned souls? So, as soon as he glorified the Lord, his form, then Prahlad is expressing his love because this is the first time he's directly uh, seeing the Lord and in front of him face to face, and he's expressing his love. He's telling, "Oh, my dear Lord." So as soon as this is Dhainyata, you feel the meek and humble. So Prahlad is feeling that Sharanagati, that feelings of surrender. This is my dear Lord. I'm really very fallen. Please help me. No, I'm very much afraid of my condition within this material world. When will the moment come? When will you call me to your shelter? This is actually what we have to always pray to the Lord. Trishtos Maham. I am frightened. Kripana Vatsala. You are actually the you are who are so kind to the fallen soul. Dussahogra. You serve intolerable. Ugra means ferocious. Samsara Chakra. So this is applicable to for all of us. We are also in this Samsara Chakra. Dussahogra. Grashatam Pranita. We are in such a miserable situation. Kadana means from such a miserable condition. Krishata means among other conditioned souls who are devour one another, who devour one another. This is how this Jivo Jivasya Jiva. Paddasva karma bir ushitam tengrimun. So because of my own thing, I am in this situation. But now, no, please call me back. So he says, Prito Pavarga Sharanam Ayase Kada. Please call me to your list. This is actually what he's doing. So this is actually what Yasmat Priya Priya Viyoga Sayoga Janma Shoka Sakalayo Nishudviyamana Dukkaushadam Tadapi Dukkham Natadiyaham Rumam Brahmami Vadane Savadasya Yogam Yasmat Priya Priya Viyoga Sayoga Janma. He says that this is actually another thing that happens in this metal world. How people suffer. This is a very terrible suffering. What happens? He says because of contact with displeasing circumstances and separation from pleasing circumstances. Priya, Priya, Apriya, Viyoga, Sayoga Janma. So Priya, Apriya, pleasing and displeasing. Viyoga, Sayoga. And this is meeting and separation. One is placed in a most regrettable position. So sometimes we get very pleasing circumstances, sometimes displeasing. We have to separate from our loved ones. We have to experience this pleasure and pain, which is, he says, one is placed in the most regrettable position on heavenly or hellish planets, as if burning in a fire of lamentation. Although there are many remedies by which we get out of miserable life, any such remedies in the material world are more miserable than the misery themselves. Therefore, I think that the only remedy is to engage in your service. So this is very famous slogan. Dukkha tadapi dukkham ataddiya. So to try to solve with the same state of consciousness. Even Albert Einstein says that we're trying to solve the problems of this world, which we created with the same mind. We are trying to solve the problems with the same mind with which we created. It is not going to solve because we have to raise our consciousness. Then only it is possible. So here, Esmat Priya Priya Yoga Sayoga. So we are so much Sakala Yoni Shuddhayyamana. We are burning in these sufferings. Sometimes good circumstances, sometimes bad. Sometimes we are in association of our loved ones. Sometimes we are separated from them, and this happens. If you love somebody, then you have to pay the price of separation, the pain of separation. That is inevitable. If I love somebody, that means I am experiencing some pleasure. That means we should be willing to take that pain also in their separation. Dukkha but the solutions which we take now, they are greater problems. That is the tragedy. We'll not go more deeper. We'll go. Soham Priya, Soham Priyasya Suhurta, Paradevataya, Leela Katha Satavanasim Havirincha Gita, अन्यस्थितर्ण्यनुगुणं गुणविप्रमुक्तो दुर्गादिते पदयुगल Hamsasanga. This is, O my Lord Narsingadev, by engaging your transcendental loving service in the association of devotees who are liberated souls, Hamsas, I shall become completely uncontaminated by the association of three modes of mental nature and able to chant the glories of your lordships who are so dear to me. I shall chant your glories, following exactly in the footsteps of Lord Brahma and his disciplic succession. In this way, I shall undoubtedly be able to cross the ocean of mysteries. So now he expressed his heart that I want to come back to you. And next shloka, then he starts feeling compassion for the people of this world. So this is actually the signature strength of Prahlad. How you know is Prahlad? Because nobody is as compassionate as Prahlad. So as soon as he offered his praise, my dear Lord, when will I come back to you? Then immediately he feels about the suffering of this living entities. He says, oh, they are suffering. Dukkha yonishu dahyamana. So they are so much suffering in this world. Then he says, but if they practice bhakti in the association of devotees, hamsas, liberated souls, they will be free from these three modes. All the suffering is because of three modes. You can be free from it if you are practicing this. Then he says, Bhalasya neha sharanam gakaro nrsimha nartasya chakatamudanvati majjatonyo taptasya tatpratibhiti yanjashreshtastavat vibhodanabhutam tadupekshitanam. This is my dear, my Lord Nrsimhadev, O Supreme. Because of a bodily conception of life, embodied souls neglect and not care for you by you cannot do anything for their better. Whatever remedies they accept, although perhaps temporarily beneficial, are certainly impermanent. For example, a father and mother cannot protect their children. A physician and a medicine cannot relieve a suffering patient, and a boat on the ocean cannot protect a drowning man. So he says, except for you, nothing is actually the remedy. Nobody can protect. People, unfortunately, not knowing because of bodily conception, they neglect you. That is, they are accepting some remedies. Temporarily, it will work. Balasya neha sharano pitaronis. This is very important. Nobody can protect. The parents take care of proper rights and purpose. So they try to take care of the child with all protection, but the child dies sometimes. And it happens. So many such big best of the hospitals, best of the doctors, best of the medicines, patient dies. That means who is the protector? It's only Lord. That's all. Lord wants it to happen. Otherwise, nothing. यस्मिन् यतो यर्ह्येन च यस्य यस्मात् यस्मिन् यथा यदुतयस्त्वपरः परो वा भावः करोति विकरोति पृथक् स्वभाव सञ्चोदितस्तदखिलं भवतः स्वरूपम् यस्मिन् यतो यर्ह्येन च यस्य यस्मात्. So it's also very nice slogan. It says everyone in this material world is under the modes of mental nature, being influenced by goodness, passion, weakness. Everyone, from the greatest personality, Lord Brahma, down to the small ant, work under the influence of three modes. So this is clear. Everybody is under modes. Therefore, everyone in this material world is influenced by your energy. The cause for which they were, the place they were, the time when they were, the matter due to which they were, the goal of life they have considered final, and the process for obtaining their goal, all are nothing but the manifestation of your energy. Indeed, since the energy and energetic are identical, all of them are but manifestation of you. So, the important point here is how everybody is influenced by three modes. Because they influenced by three modes, they are all working under the energy of Lord. This is energy. So, the cause for which they work, the place they work, the time they work, the matter due to which they work, the goal of life they consider violent, the process are nothing but the manifestation of Lord's external. That means completely illusion. All of them are manifestation of Lord only. So anything that is happening here is just a great illusion that is happening. Prahlad is able to see. So what happens is when our chitta is pure, then we can see things as they are. Our heart is pure, then what is possible? Otherwise, it is affected by lust, greed, pride, anger, all these things. We are not able to see the reality. But Prahlad is very clearly able to see the reality and he is feeling that great compassion. माया मनसृजति कर्ममयं बलीय कालेन चोदितगुणानुमतनेन पुंसा छन्दोमयं यद अजयार्पितषोडशारं संसारचक्रमजकोदितरेतुरन्य. He says, O Lord, O Supreme Eternal, by expanding your plenary portion, you have created subtle bodies of living entities through the agency of your external energy, which is agitated by time. Thus, the mind entraps the living entity in unlimited varieties of desires to be fulfilled by the Vedic directions of karma kanda, fruitive activity, and the 16 elements. Who can get free from this entanglement unless he takes shelter at your lotus feet? So, what entraps? Mind entraps. Now, living entity, we discuss this. Lord want to give the living entity the Lord want to give the living entity opportunity to enjoy. So, to give the living entity opportunity to enjoy, what Lord does is He gives mind to the living entity. This is what. So, the mind entraps the living entities. That's what it happens. So, Lord gives the settled bodies through the agency of external energy, which is dictated by time. So, how it happens is, if you remember what we discussed in the time session also. So, is first is that there is pradhana, which is agitated by time, and then it becomes mahatattva. Mahatattva, which is having three modes, are imbalanced. Then there is ahankara tattva and sutra tattva, and this ahankara, all these things are imbalanced. And this mahatattva becomes what? This mahatattva becomes the chitta, and that is actually the subtle body of the living. From chitta comes ahankara, manas, and buddhi. So all these things is called manas only. So he is given this manas, which entraps the living entity in unlimited varieties of desires to be fulfilled. And for that, there are Vedas also. Yamimam pushpitam vacham prabhavanti avipashchitaha vedavadarata partha nanya tattistvad. So all this pushpitam vacham. So all this karmakanda section of Vedas, which gives them so much. And now completely entangled. You get desires, you are fulfilling desires. You get more desires, you continue fulfilling the desires. That's all. The living entity is completely entrapped. And who can come out of it? Who take shelter at your lotus feet. So that's what is Prahlad is telling. And he says, Sattvam hi nitya vijitatma gunaswadhamna kalo vashikritas visarja visarga shaktai chakre vishishtamajeswara shodashara nishpidyamam upakarsh vibho prapanna. Sattvam, he says, my dear Lord, O great, O supreme great, you have created this material world of 16 constituents, but you are transcendental to their material qualities. In other words, these material qualities are under your full control, and you are never conquered by them. Therefore, the time element is your representation. My Lord, O Supreme One, no one can conquer you. As for me, however, I am being crushed by the wheel of time, and therefore I surrender. Kindly take me under the protection of your roots. So he's telling this is actually the time factor he's afraid of. How Lord enters in this world is time. And Prahlad is saying, oh, I'm afraid to please protect. He's trying to ask for us. And this is a very famous verse. Drishtva maya divi vibho kila drishnapanam ayushriyo vibhava ikshati yenjanoyam yats yasmat pitu kupitaha savijambate bhru विस्पूजिते लुलुते satute nirastat. This is now he's telling that nobody can conquer you. And my father tried to do it. He is trying to conquer, doing something in this material world. It's all three modes, time and everything, mind and everything. Now, what my father did, Drishtva Maya Divi Vibho. Drishtva, I have seen. Prahlad, I have practically seen. Drishtva Maya Divi Vibho. Kiladishnapanam. Kiladishnapanam is the my Lord Akhila Dishnapanam, the chief of different states of planets. He is glorifying the Lord. He says, what I have seen, my father, he has Ayu Shriyo Vibhava Ichchati Enjanoyam. My father, people, Prahlad says, people in general want to be elevated to higher planets for long duration. Ayu, opulence, Vaibhava, and Ichchati enjoyment. But I have seen all these through the activities of my father. When my father was angry and he laughed sarcastically at the demigods, they were immediately vanquished simply by seeing the movement of his eyebrows. He says, Yasmat pitu kupitahasu, vijambatepu. Kupitahasu means he is sarcastically laughing. Vijambatepu is just lifting his eyebrows. And he says, Yet my father, who was so powerful, has now been vanquished by you within a moment. You just defeated my father within a moment. And next shloka is also connected to तस्मात् अमूषतनुभृतामहमाशिषोऽञ्ज आयुश्रियं विभव ऐन्दिरम् आविरिञ्च नेच्छामि ते विललिता गुरुविक्रमेण कालात्मनोपयनमां निजभृत्यपार्श्व. This is my dear Lord. Now I have completely experienced conquering the worldly opulence, mystic power, longevity, and other material pleasures enjoyed by all living entities, from Lord Brahma down to the ant. As powerful time, you destroy them all. Therefore, because of my experience, I do not wish to possess them. My dear Lord, I request to be placed to you. I request you to place me in touch with your pure devotee. Let me serve him as a sincere servant. This is what actually is praying. So we will take one last shloka. Kshutrasi shashati sukha mrigatrishni rupa vedam kalevaramase rujam viroha निर्विद्यतेन तु जनो यदपीत विद्वान् कामालवन्मदुलवै समयन्दुरापै. This is also very famous shloka. In this material world, every living entity desires for some creative happiness, which is exactly like a mirage in the desert. Vigatrishna Rupa. The happiness in this material world is like a mirage. Where is water in the desert? So Prahlad is asking question. In other words, where is happiness in this world? As far as this body, what is its value? It is merely a source of various diseases. The so called philosophers, scientists, and politicians know this very well, but nonetheless, they aspire for temporary happiness. Happiness is difficult to obtain, but because they are unable to control the senses, they run after so called happiness of this material world and never come to the right conclusion. This is Prahlad's conclusion. Very famous shloka. Okay, thank you very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, नृसिंहदेव भगवान की जय. हरे कृष्ण.